Welcome to YWAM Constanza. We'd like to show you a little bit of our aquaponics system that we have going, and we can start off by heading to the fish tank. So in our fish tank, we have approximately 20 adolescent fish and around 70 small fry. As these fish create waste, the waste is then converted into nitrates through natural bacterial processes. The nitrates are actually harmful to fish, so usually they would be filtered out.
So instead of filtering out the nitrates and wasting them, we're actually going to pump the water from the fish tank into the dump tank. This is kind of the heart of the system. We're using a small pump to fill the dump tank at a very slow rate, and then once the water level gets so high, there's actually a siphon inside here, which is essentially just a bent piece of pipe. Once the water level rises above the highest point, water begins to flow and go out into the grow beds. It then sucks the tank completely dry. We're using a small aquarium pump to pump the water at a slow rate into the dump tank. But this can also be done without electricity. If someone were to come out 5 times a day at least and scoop water out of the fish tank and fill the dump tank by hand, the whole system runs just as well.
So as you can see, the water has just begun to empty from the dump tank. It takes about 30 minutes for the water to empty, and all this time the plants are able to soak up the nitrates from the water. The water only rises to be about 1 inch below the stones that you can see here in the bed. Now, a lot of systems would just use a small gravel, but we're actually using expanded ceramic because it's very lightweight. So here we have basil, we have radishes, we have Swiss chard and tomatoes. We also have bell peppers, spicy peppers, and cilantro. So as you can see, you can actually grow quite a bit in a really small space. As the water then builds up to a certain level in the tanks, it begins to drain out from these white pipes. It's then carried down this gutter, and eventually it's pumped back into the fish tank.
Now you've seen how the system works, let me tell you a little bit about why it's so great. The first main reason is that it uses 10% or less of the water needed to grow the same amount of plants in the ground. And that's because we're using a circulating system, so we're using the same water over and over again. Some is lost to evaporation, but very little. Another reason is that because the whole system fills with nutrient-rich water, there's no competition with the plants. Each plant doesn't need so much space for its roots. The plants can be crammed in much tighter, and so long as they're still getting sun, they'll grow because they can have as much nutrients as they want without fighting over it with other plants. So we hope this video has been helpful in giving you a little better picture of what we're doing here with aquaponics. If you would like to know more, feel free to check out our Facebook.